Our next organ system is one that's on everybody's mind these days, the immune system. What defends us against various threats? Here's an example. We have a white blood cell. It's been artificially colored blue for this picture just to make it easy to see. And we see that it's grabbing a hold of some round bacterial cells to gobble them up and keep those bacteria from harming the body. The immune system is an unusual system in our bodies in that a lot of it is individual cells moving on their own rather than a set of tissues and organs that most of our systems are based on. Now we'll see there are some organs that are associated with the immune system, but a lot of it's more distributed. So these cells and even individual molecules released into the body that are used to recognize and respond to any sort of problem thing in the body, whether these are pathogens, disease-causing organisms, such as various bacteria or viruses. Well, viruses aren't technically organisms, but biological things. Some fungi can infect us, other parasites, things like that. Also, cells that are not functioning the way they should, like cancer. Certain types of poison or toxin can be dealt with the immune system as well. If the immune system doesn't successfully defeat these, then you get sick. So lots of types of possible pathogens. Any sort of opening in the body may be an entrance for them. Also, some can get through the skin, but most of them, it's either if you take it in, say from breathing or eating or drinking, or if there's some sort of damage to your surface from an injury, say a cut or other type of wound, things like that. If there's something wrong with the immune system, then you're very much at risk. There are some mutations, for example, that give people immune systems that are not as strong as a genetic disease. And there are certain types of pathogens, such as the viruses or bacteria, things like that, that can harm the immune system. Very famously, AIDS is the symptom resulting from the HIV virus. The HIV virus targets some of the immune system cells. And so because your immune system isn't doing what it should, usually the actual death is due to random other pathogens that are able to attack you because your immune system's not working well because of the HIV virus. On the other hand, you can have the immune system attacking something that doesn't need to be attacked. And that causes problems as well, whether it's some random outside thing that isn't a problem, as in an allergic reaction, or you can have an autoimmune problem where the immune system has identified part of you as being bad in attacking it, and of course, you don't want you attacked by your immune system. That's not good, and there are a variety of diseases associated with that. The immune system, all these individual cells need to coordinate, signal each other what's going on, alert them to any problems detected. And this can be both as cells contact each other and the molecules on the cell surfaces give signals that way. But also many of the immune cells will release cells into the body so that they travel in the bloodstream, in the lymph, and these molecules that are released alert the body saying something like, hey, I found some suspicious bacteria over here in the left big toe. Better come check it out. That type of thing. So, variety of types of cell signaling involved in the immune system. So, key thing, the immune system needs to recognize this is me. That's good, it should be there, leave it alone. This is not me, something's wrong here. And so by doing it, the immune system uses various indicator molecules that will be on the surface of your cells. And so when the immune system cell encounters those, okay, yep, that looks like a perfectly good cell. I recognize those proteins, those belong here. All right, what's over here? What is this? I do not recognize this protein. Something's wrong here. Alert, invader. The immune system recognizes this pathogen has some chemical on it that I do not recognize as me, and therefore we need to get rid of it. So, for example, that's the goal of developing a vaccine. You're identifying some chemicals found on usually the virus, and then get the body to recognize those, and then next time when that virus shows up, the body is all ready, as we'll see how that process builds, because it recognizes this is something that does not belong here. Also, chemicals released when cells are damaged. This attracts attention from those immune system cells, and they will break down the damaged cells and also watch out for, did something bad do that? Is this a sign of some infection? Two major categories of immune responses. We have a number of non-specific immune responses, sometimes also called innate immunity. These are things that the body is doing all the time as general defenses against anything that might be a problem coming in. So these are ways to try to stop stuff coming in. For example, talking about the respiratory system, we noted that you've got things like the hairs in your nose to block stuff from being breathed in. And if stuff does get breathed in, you've got all that sticky mucus in there to try to trap the stuff breathed in, and then it's stuck in the mucus and gotten rid of rather than getting all the way into the lungs. In addition to things to kind of block stuff, there are some general chemicals and other things the body has to identify and get rid of stuff that doesn't belong if it does get in. The specific immune responses, also referred to as acquired immunity, are ones that target, as the name suggests, specific. They target particular chemicals that have been identified as this goes with something bad. Get rid of it. So the system is particularly best studied in vertebrates, and what this does, it develops a recognition of a particular molecule, referred to as an antigen, and produces antibodies that will bind onto those antigens. That does two things. One, having antibodies stuck all over the antigen is going to interfere with the antigen doing things, and antibodies are recognized by immune cells as anything with an antibody stuck on it. That's bad. Destroy it. So this is a way to specifically target, okay, I encountered this stuff, it was bad, I don't want it. Attack it if you see it again. And this information is stored, retained in the immune system. And so if you encounter it again, the body can very quickly recognize and attack it. Both nonspecific and specific immune responses are quite standard in animals. The nonspecific is kind of a general, always out there, providing defense. Hopefully it at least slows things down to give time for the specific response to learn, hey, wait, here's something new that's a problem, build up a response and deal with it. Because it does take a while for the specific system to establish and take action. What are some types of barriers? The first defense that you have, or for any animal, is the outer covering, epidermis. Now, whether you've got a skin, or a shell, or a cuticle, whatever sort of thing that's on the outside. So definitely very important protection. Never leave home without your skin. That would be a bad thing. Also, besides our skin encountering the outside, we've got parts of our inside that are encountering the outside. We breathe in air. Yeah, keeping breathing, that's important for good health. But that is bringing stuff from outside into our lungs. A more vulnerable spot than out with the skin. So the lining of our respiratory system needs to also have defenses like the skin, control, try to prevent things from coming in that shouldn't. And also, eating, drinking, getting those into the body. Our digestive system must also be on the defense, protecting against things that shouldn't come in, coming through. So we've already mentioned mucus hairs as examples there. There are a variety of chemicals produced, both on the skin and with the lining of the digestive system and lungs, that will attack and destroy a variety of types of things coming in. Also, we do a lot of getting rid of stuff. Sweat, mucus, tears, urine, these, as we dump them out of the body, that's washing some stuff away. Now, not all bacteria and viruses and things like that are bad. There's a normal set of bacteria living on our skin, in our digestive system, things like that. Something showing up is trying to invade an already crowded neighborhood. And so the good bacteria competing with the invader, that's another thing that helps defend us.